There's many people are sick. They're just sick, sick, sick. This is what a beautiful day, and to be sick and feeling terrible. But you're here, and we need to remember our brothers and sisters. When you see a face missing, we can be so lazy now. Just send them a text, okay? Let them know that you missed them. Please do that. But we're here today. It's a great day. We've come to worship. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and truth, okay? I even heard at the beginning of the adult Sunday school, Joe was going through explaining, how so much of what we look at in this world, it's real, it's tangible. We talk about the gates of hell and all these different things. And these are images in our minds, but where I want to live is in a spiritual world, all right? Not the gaga nonsense from Hollywood, but with God. It's an important place for us to be. So we have some fun things now. We sent out a survey. So one of the things we need to get on right away is what? Is the garden out front. The garden out front. So we're going to be doing this, and we need to change things up this year because my wife is, she's running out of gas doing all the weeding, okay? So what we have is, this is going to go right out in the foyer. There's 6 of the raised beds that are out there, and what we would like you to do is to sign your name on there. There could be multiple people to a bed, families, right? And it's got instructions here. Put you there, adopt a box, write your names there. List what you might want to plant, and come plant, weed, and harvest. I'll do the watering. I do all the watering. So in the morning, folks, when I'm out there in the summer and stuff, I study for an hour or two. Then I go out and I water. And you know what I do? I water. I talk to people walking up and down the street. I just had the best time. But please, avail yourself of this. Dean, would you please take this out there? You'll see on the board out there to the left, there's cover the Easter stuff. I didn't think of it. And there's some tacks up there. If you just put that out there. So today and next week, we need to plant pretty soon. So I just want to mention all that so that we can do what? So that we can do this. Please, stand. Let's sing. Some people are missing, so you have to sing louder.
Shout pour out our praise. It's your breath in our lungs. So we pour out our praise to you only. Let's continue with a hymn, a familiar hymn that everybody sings. And let's sing it with all our hearts. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Thus grace taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieve. How precious is that grace appeared the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, with no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Noah. Noah just popped in there. Well, folks, God's grace is amazing. We need to keep that in mind. Sometimes we do forget. But a little extra. Please grab a seat because Brother James has a testimony for us today. And I'm glad he's here. You know why I'm glad he's here? A number of reasons I'm glad he's here. But one of them is we have people in the hospital. He's not in the hospital. He's here. Amen? This is a good thing. We love hospitals. That said, we like not being in them too. Brother, here you go. You're on.
Thank you, Pastor. Good morning. Praise the Lord, church. Let's try it again. Good morning. Praise the Lord, church. I know there's more than 4 or 5 of us in here today. I spent last week challenging God. I have many health issues, many. Like at one point, I was consuming about 27 pills every day. I had to stick myself about 8 times a day. And I said, why me, God? And God said, why not you? And I watched God take 27 pills and dwindle them down to 6. I watched God take 8 sticks and turn them into 2. But last week, I made a decision. And I challenge everybody that's in this room and anyone else that might hear on the internet that you come to a place, and either you come to that place in God now, or you find yourself on the other side of his wrath. So in the week, I said, for Christ I live, and for Christ I render my life. Because to live is Christ, Paul says, and to die is gain. And in this life is accounted for every man, and I'm quoting scripture, to die once. And then for some it's the judgment. But if you've lived a life of righteousness unto God, not unto your husband, not unto your wife, not unto your mother, not unto your father, but up unto your eternal Father, then glory you shall see. And to reap glory is not something we have to wait for. I heard the man of God say this morning he want to live a life in the Spirit. That's a decision. That means that no matter what Martha does, no matter what his children do, he will not be separated from the love of God. Whether he has a house to live in over there, whether he's got a 401k plan, whether he's got a full 3B, a Fidelity, a ING, or any of those things, for Christ. On Wednesday, God woke me up 3 o'clock in the morning. I thought somebody was knocking at the door. Wake up. I got up. I said, yes, Lord. This world is coming to an end. This grace we just sung about is coming to a close. The end of the church age is so near. Some of you have family members. I have children who are not saved. My heart is heavy the same way the Lord's heart was heavy, that no matter how heavy his heart was, he went to the cross. He went to lay down his life so that every person in this room and beyond has an opportunity for everlasting life. And yet, some of you sit here and have not made the decision. Because this book right here, you know why people don't read the Bible? Because they don't want to be judged. But judgment is good. That's love. That's my wife, my God-given wife. Not a good wife, God-given. And for every error in my life, she was right there at my side, on her knees, in her word, praying. Lord, like we should be praying. Every unsaved person, every R&B person, every false prophet, every mother, every father, every boyfriend, every girlfriend, every person that's an idolater, they are sons of the devil. I didn't say it. The Word of God says it. In this book is written in red print. Jesus says it. He spends more time talking about hell than he does heaven. But everybody wants to go to heaven and talk about a heaven that they have not even seen, nor have they experienced, while we live in hell here on earth. You have to make a decision, because in a very short time, a decision is going to be made for you. Thursday night, again. You know what it's like to be in your bed next to your wife, your children, at 3 o'clock in the morning on the dot, hear a knock like the police are knocking on your door. I'm trembling in my soul right now. Because when God comes to your door and knocks to get your attention, you better wake up and listen. I'm concerned for my children that are growing up in this world. Between Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and everything else that they got thrown up in their face as a distraction, in no time, not even 5 minutes. Not for the understanding of the Word of God that you're trying to read. Don't read with understanding. The Spirit of God will do that for you. Read because it's truth, and it's the only book ever written by the hand of God, penned by men, that is pure, unadulterated. You can't. Atheists have tried to disprove God and given their life to Christ. Friday night, 3 o'clock in the morning. A louder knock. Yes, Lord. I allow you to suffer to glorify my name. Stop complaining. We had Resurrection Sunday, but I don't think many of us even realize the sacrifice. Not one word did he utter. His entrails. We watched the Passion of Christ. My son cried and he shook, he trembled. My 7-year-old. Because he got an epiphany of what Christ suffered just for him. And that didn't even scratch the surface. We weren't the mother watching our son be tortured, beaten, whipped. We weren't the mother, nor were we the father to see it. But God will allow you, if you want to experience it, to know what it is. And I said, Lord, some of your people in this very room don't even know what it is to fast. So who's leading you? Who are you really hearing from? The whispers in your ear are a familiar spirit leading you away from God, not towards him. The sin is prevalent and present, whether it's sexual immorality or whatever little white lie you're comfortable in telling while we're sitting in these pews, and yet God is commanding us to come to change. His arms come unto me. And I said, Lord, I hear you. My wife asked me, she said, honey, what is it that you want to do? I said, missionary work. And then the Lord said, you don't have to go to East Africa to do missionary work. Right outside these doors is missionary work. Right in the building where you live, right at the job that I blessed you with, there is missionary work, because we work with devils every day. We go to school with devils every day. We sit and we eat with devils who know not the Christ. And yet we're supposed to be living epistles. This gospel of the good news of the kingdom is the only other thing we need to tell people about the life of Christ. That's it. That's it. No other message. Preach the good news of the kingdom. That's it. Make disciples. Make them. And if you don't know how, for those of you who are on a journey and don't know what to do, in your prayer chamber, in your prayer time, the one thing you should be asking God for is to fill me. The only thing that seals you from the day of judgment to be able to be caught up with Christ in the sky is not saying you were saved, not halfway being a Christian, is fully being saved and devoted unto him, wholeheartedly sold out for him. If you're planning to buy a new house and contribute more into your 401k, it's all going to melt and burn with fervent heat. Let me tell you now. Store up your treasures in heaven, not here on earth. Because when it starts to happen, and listen, if you're not paying attention, Saturday night, it's already happening. In the UK right now, every single solitary member is required to take an implant in their hand and in their forehead. Those of you who like to Google it. It's coming. Make a decision for Christ today. Make it in your heart. Make a decision. I refuse to give place to the devil when God said we have authority over him. Here's Satan. Here's God. He has to go to God and say, let me touch the life of Elder James Watkins. And God says, okay, just don't take his life. But I'm going to allow him to experience pain. Pastor has seen up close and personal, gut-wrenching pain. And I said, God, I don't want another oxycodone, a hydromorphone. I don't want a Dilaudid drip. I don't want anything else but you living by the Spirit. And if it so be that I have to live that way like Paul, then so be it. But by your Spirit will you deliver me and carry me through. I watched my blood sugar not go above 126 in 7 days. And no food passed my lips. I watched it drop down to 52, get lightheaded and dizzy, and then get on my knees and pray, God, bring it back up again. And I watched God do it. He is Jehovah Rapha, the Lord God that healeth. But if you don't, he said, to them that believe. What do you believe today? Do you believe that he's real enough to incorporate in every aspect of your life? I refuse to give place to the devil. I'm a warrior by nature. Most men are as protectors. The difference is I'm a warrior for Christ. So when I see the aroma of sin, because iniquity is different. It's not just sin, it's hidden sin. It's the stuff we harbor in our heart. And when I walk into the room is the man of God, just like God himself. I can smell it. I know it's there. But it's out of love. Sometimes when I speak to a person, it is not I, it is Christ. I'm speaking to him out of the love of Christ. Because nothing is hidden from the sight of God. Nothing. Nothing. Everything is, according to Scripture, naked and exposed. Pastor, I love you. Keep on preaching this word. And it don't matter who's offended. Jesus said, I came to divide mother from daughter, sister from brother. There's a separation going on in the church. You don't have to worry about the pews being filled. God is orchestrating his church for the last days. There's a gathering taking place. And for those who choose to gather under the umbrella based on the pure word of God and live upright and righteous, if you come in these doors on Sunday morning and you come in here one way and you leave out the exact same way, I challenge you. Examine yourself. That's what the scriptures say before communion. If a man judge himself, he need not be judged. But guess what? Judgment is coming. There's 4 demons waiting to get released. They waiting. They've been pent up, and all they're going to do is the will of God. 1/3 of the earth's population will be killed utterly and cast into the fiery furnace. Before they get there, God's going to give them an eternal body. Imagine a body like the one you relish right now, and some of you experienced pain before, where you're going to want to say, God, let me die, but you cannot. But to experience that pain, hell is a real place. Nor was it prepared for us, but it's there for the reckoning. There are going to be a whole lot of Christians. They said, Lord, didn't I preach in your name? Didn't I cast out demons? Didn't I give my tithe faithfully? Didn't I witness to a few? And he's going to say, we didn't have a relationship of intimacy. You weren't willing to surrender this idolatrous string over here, whether it was, listen, let the baskets go around, take every phone and drop it in the basket until next week. Some of you won't be able to function, not even an hour. That's your God, not Christ. I didn't make that up. That's what God showed me. That's only one part of the idolatrous behavior. We've set up so many other things as gods. Finally, I had a conversation with a young man by the grace of God that was a Muslim by faith. And I asked him simply, by way of the Holy Spirit, what do you believe? Allah is God. And I paused and I said, Lord, what would you? Allah and Jehovah are the same. I said, blasphemy. How can a demon be equal to the eternal God? He's a demon. How could you say such profanity? I said, easy. How did your God come about? A man went into a cave, according to Scripture, right? According to your Quran, in the history of how the Quran was written. He had an encounter with what he thought was an angel. Galatians confirms the same thing, that this was going to happen. But apart from reading your Bible, you would never know that, so you could never be in a situation where God could speak through you as a conduit. That's all God wants. He wants for you to be the television cord, not the TV. The cord. Amen? At the end of our conversation, he said, listen, how do you know these things? Study to show thyself approved. This book right here. God bless you all. Thank you,
Now, Yolanda's going to come up and read our text. So come on up here, young lady. I didn't turn me on, just so you know. She's going down to the Dominican Republic on Friday, and she's going to be she's going to see the Quinlans down in there. They have the ministry to the deaf. She won't get a chance to see the Lanes, but it's pretty cool.
What a beautiful testimony. Jesus is risen, he is alive, and he's knocking on all our doors, not only on his door. So let's try to pay attention to see what he wants us to do. Amén. Buenos días, hermanos. Matthew 6, 1 to 4. Beware of practicing your righteousness before other people in order to be seen by them. For then you will have no reward from your Father who is in heaven. Thus, when you give to the needy, sound no trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may be praised by others. Truly, I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. I got that. Well, having said that, okay, so you've been sitting a little bit loose. Okay, say hi to each other. Say hello, move a little bit, get going. This is a mini seven-inning stretch. And children, if you want to go downstairs, if you're going down, go down. No, you got to stay up. You got to sing later. Amen. So some folks are headed down there. Off they go. Well, thank you, Yolanda, for reading that text for us. We're back in the Sermon on the Mount, and I said this, beware of hypocrisy. Beware of hypocrisy. It's very important, right? I want you to understand this. Think of, there is near unanimous opinion. It's vehement at times and heated in the condemnation of hypocrisy, right? We don't like hypocrisy. No. But it can be surprising when you think about this for a moment, right? Firstly, to a greater or lesser extent, we're all hypocrites. Aren't you glad you came today? I'm calling you a hypocrite. We are at times, right? And secondly, hypocrisy is considered relatively harmless failing. It really is. Hypocrisy is almost accepted. Think about it. It really is. Now, Jesus made a quote in Matthew 15, and he quoted what was mentioned in the Old Testament that God had Isaiah say, and it's very interesting. He said, these people draw near to me with their mouths and honor me with their lips. You know, the lip service? But their hearts are far from me. Their hearts are from me. It's always a matter of the heart. No matter what you say or do, our heart is where it's at. It really is, okay? This heart issue, it's a great summation of hypocrisy in reality. I mean, what's the motive pretending that I'm honoring God when I do not? I mean, I can fool you people with my religiosity, right? Oh, Pastor Pete, he's religious. That's nice, right? I can hope to maybe raise my status in your eyes, maybe secure some material benefits. Maybe you just want to look cool. I'm the pastor. I'm up here, right? People will do this, right? I'm in the spotlight. And the spotlight is a nice light until the spotlight gets too hot, till your hypocrisy gets revealed. Not a good feeling, right? And that's what people were doing, and that's what people still do. Look at all this I'm giving, right? You know when you go to those big new buildings, like have that in the entranceway, they got the lobby with all the donators, right? You get the third tier, the second tier, the first tier, right? I gave this much money. Look at me, right? And I got a good one for you. You know, like when you go some places, you get a brick in your name. I got a cane brick here. I don't know if I can zoom in on it. It's a little tarnished now because I gave so long ago. No, it's not. I didn't get a cane brick made. This cane, it's a commercial brick out there. But you get a brick made with your name on it, and it goes down there. And I can say, look at that. It's okay. It's kind of fun to do. But you got to be careful about those bricks, right? It can be like ooh, I got a brick. I gave that. It's all right, though. You can do it. Hey, if we put a brick walkway out there, we'll put your name in it. That's okay. But there's a point to all this. But Jesus started off this section of the Sermon on the Mount with the word beware. Okay, different versions. I chose, this is the New American Standard Version translation that Yolanda read, because it says, take heed in some other ones. And take heed didn't work for me. Beware works for me. Beware. It's so important, right? Be cautious. Be on guard. That's what Jesus is saying here. Awareness is not looking out from a watchtower for an attacking enemy, okay? That's what they had to do at this time, and it'd be a good thing to do. Jesus said this, beware of practicing your righteousness before people in order to be seen by them. See, this is a look in the mirror moment, what Jesus is talking about. This is so much as is focused in on us. Look inside ourselves. Okay, be careful, because look at me, because I feel good. Like, remember the old guy, remember old James Brown? I feel good. Doo, 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 doo. That's what we get to sometimes, don't we? I'm in the spotlight. They take care with that, right? You really do. Feeling good. And it's good to feel good. Don't misunderstand me. But now in chapter 5 that we went through, Jesus gave the disciples 6 very distinct points to pay attention to, right? He taught them that what? That anger was murder. That lust was adultery. That divorce was a hard issue. Remember? He allowed divorce to happen because the hardness of men's hearts. Swearing oaths, in the name of God, I'm going to do this. Well, you don't need to do that. Just let your yea be yea, let your nay be nay. Just do it. Nike got it right. Revenge. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? We want to do that. You know what? A strong person has no need for revenge. You know why? Because they're strong. I don't need to retaliate. And love, he taught about love, loving your enemies. Just think of Christ, all right, on Good Friday, going in there to these people. They're saying, crucify him, crucify him. And when people taunt you with certain things, are you going to hate them or are you going to love them? Personally, I don't like being taunted. And the years ago, it got to me. Now it's like, that's the wrong thing to do to me, because that's going to get me smiling at you. I'm going to come after you lovingly. Not after you. I said, you're unhappy. The Spirit is in me. I can affect a change in you. You don't understand this. It's just a weird thing. My brain, I'm a little twisted. I understand that. My wife's got to deal with me all the time. But do we think this way that says here in chapter 5? Because we need to really renew our minds. It's important for us to do this. Let me have a word of prayer as we dive into being aware of hypocrisy. Something for us to be aware of. Thank you for this day, Lord. What a beautiful day you've given us. But Father, every day we draw breath is beautiful. And Lord, I pray for our brothers and sisters that are sick now, Lord. So many people are sick at home with this cold. We got Santiani right down the street at Faulkner Hospital, so ill, so sick right now. We have Jasmine. She had to have an operation done as well just yesterday, Lord. So many things happening in the hospital. Lord, it's wonderful we have hospitals, but I pray for my brothers and sisters that are sick right now, Lord, and that we can uplift them and care for them, reach out to them. But thank you for this day, Father. Amen. All right. So, Jesus in Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 to 18, he relates the principles of our relationship to God in worship. This is what he's trying to get across to us, okay? But he's also relating hypocrisy in worship. Oh, yeah. Jesus doesn't leave anything out. That's why the Bible's a beautiful word of God, right? It just pops it all in there. It gives it all to us at all the times, right? Jesus unmasks hypocrisy, right? With 3 illustrations in Matthew chapter 6, verses 2, 5, and 16. He uses the word hypocrisy. 3 things he gives us, right? Hypocritical worship. 1, in giving. Giving to be seen. Look how much I gave, right? I'm giving and I want to be praised for much I've given. And later on he's going into hypocrisy in how we pray. Praying to be seen. Ooh, I got a holy sighting. Pete's praying again. That's such a great prayer. What a great prayer he did. Really? But people will pray that way. And then in fasting. Oh, people will fast. I don't mean to be a jerk, and no one here has done this, but I'm just going to do it anyways. People will be fasting and go, oh, brother, pray for me. I'm fasting today for the Lord. It's a 24-hour. People do this. We're going to get to fasting. When you're fasting, no one's supposed to know, but people will do that. It's like, you're missing the point. You're making a relationship with me. This is about you and God. But Jesus brings hypocritical worship out in these 16 verses so well. So exciting when you look at this. And all 3 things, giving, prayer, and fasting, they're all part of worship. They're really important. And these 3 things, people on the outside of the church, and many of the people of us on the inside of the church, when we see these things, what do we think? What a bunch of hypocrites. Right? That's what happens, right? See, I think giving became And I think giving can become a real issue with regard to our integrity that then blossoms into hypocrisy. It's nice to see the daffodils out front, right? They're blossoming, they're beautiful. But the blooming of hypocrisy is not so beautiful, is it? I don't like it too much. So Jesus gets into this, and this is in the Sermon on the Mount is paramount importance, folks, in our lives. We need to get this down. And what he tells us starts off in the first verse. Take care not to practice your righteousness. Note that's your righteousness in the sight of people, to be noticed by them. Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. Reward systems here, right? But for a moment, let's define what's a hypocrite, right? We need to get that down before we get much further. I love definitions of things, right? Now, a hypocrite is not someone that falls short of their ideals. We've all tried to do things at times and fall short, right? That doesn't make me a hypocrite. There's things I've wanted to do here in this church that have not been accomplished. Am I a hypocrite for it? No. And a hypocrite is not someone who fails and falls into sin. Habitual sin is a totally different thing, but we all fall into sin. We all fail. All fail. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. We got that down. See, that's not being a hypocrite. No, not at all. A hypocrite here deliberately uses religion to cover over sin and to promote their own gain. This is what Jesus is getting at. The Greek word here, if you want to get into it, it means to wear a mask. Hypocrisy is to wear a mask. That's what it's theater. It's look at me, right? It's look at me. A hypocritical person is someone who's in direct contradiction to their stated beliefs, their values, and their virtues, often pretending to maintain a higher standard. That's what a hypocrite does. But they can't follow it. They're masking over their own contradictions. Now, here we have a person doing charitable deeds. It sounds good, right? Charitable deeds. Being righteous, giving alms, giving to the poor. Isn't that good? Folks, people that don't have, I love giving to the poor, people that are disadvantaged, right? But whatever they were doing it so that people would know it. Look what I did. You say, Jesus makes a point of this. So if Jesus makes a point of this, we need to pay attention. Okay? You might think, well, what's the big deal? It's important. Jesus says it. Okay, I'm not saying this. Well, I am. Don't play me. Jesus is saying this. Pay attention. Now, we do need to share our good works. That's good. I love testimonies. That's true. And she wouldn't say anything, but that's a great thing when you're the pastor, you're standing up here. You can do whatever you want sometimes. People can't do anything about it because I get the microphone. So my sister Michelle, she's in the hospital last week. She's in the hospital on Easter. And she's in there doing whatever Michelle's doing, getting operations and stuff. I got to love her, right? But what's she do while she's in the hospital? She invites Sister Beverly, sitting to her left, to church. So while Michelle's in the hospital last week, Beverly's at church. Isn't that a hoot? But here's the thing about that. And I'm going to tell you, look, my job is to uplift you at times, okay? And I don't mean to embarrass Michelle. I love her. But I need to use her. And Michelle, I'm using you for a specific reason. She will never say, look who I invited to church. Michelle has invited more people to church than anyone I know and brought. We're not keeping score, are we? Excuse me, I just spit there. I am. I think it's a wonderful thing. She just does this. She doesn't look for any accolades, any credit. She just does it. Just think about that. And I'm so glad she's here today so I could brag on her. I like it when I get to brag on people, okay? I just do. But she just does this, right? I'm just sharing her good work, shows she won't. But understand this, what she does is between her and God. Not me. I've never once asked her to bring someone to church. Not once. I want to go over her house for dinner again to meet with some of her friends. Now, she's not got me over there yet, but I'm not complaining. She's a good cook. Anyway, we continue on, Matthew chapter 2, in verse 2 here. Therefore, when you do charitable deeds, right? Do not sound the trumpets before you as the hypocrites do in the synagogues or in the streets, that they may have glory from men. Assuredly, I say to you, they have their own reward. That's it. You're getting the attaboys, you're getting the pats on the back. That's great. I'm happy for you. That's not going to do any good, right? And when it says the trumpets there, there's actually not necessarily a record. I was looking for this. There's no record of giving where the trumpets were actually sounded. This is hyperbole. This is exaggeration, I think, that Jesus is using. There's different writing styles in the Bible, folks. It's not all literal. Some are metaphors. Some are analogies. We need to look at it. Some are poetic, right? Whatever. Don't toot your own horn. You don't have to. Don't toot your own horn. This needs to be no trumpets going, right? We can do that. Now, people do demonize the church. They call it hypocritical. I gotcha. I agree with you completely. The recognition of my hypocrisy is healthy. Do you realize that when I realize I'm a hypocrite? I hope you all go to the doctors at least once a year, right? Now, it's nice to go to the doctor here that I'm healthy, but the doctor, you kind of want to find out if something's wrong, right? I went to the doctor. I have high cholesterol. I eat great. I exercise, right? It's genetic. But my point being, because I know it's something wrong, I can do something about it. It's kind of a funny thing. So if I find out that I'm a hypocrite, I can do something about it. Stop being one. Radical stuff, huh? Deep theology there. How much deeper are you going to get? It's right there. I'm a hypocrite. I'm a Christian. I can't live up to the standard that Christ gave. If I could, I'd be perfect and I wouldn't need a Savior. You talk to my wife, she'll tell you I am nowhere near that standard. I love her. Don't ask her. It'll hurt. I skipped one verse from Matthew chapter 5, the last verse, one of my favorite verses of the Bible. It says, and we didn't get to it, but I'm going to say it, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Isn't that a nice short verse? Be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. It's not perfect, it's complete. See, that's the direction we need to be going. That needs to be a conscious thing when you wake up in the morning. That's the real deal. If you're not thinking that way, you're not going to go that way. It's not going to happen if you're not thinking that way. It doesn't happen for me. We do things in the morning in my house because if I don't, I tell you what, I am all over the map. It's very important. Perfection's the direction, right? Being complete. See, Jesus taught these Beatitudes, right? But are they a reality in my life? So 8 of them, I think. He said in Matthew 5:9, he says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they're called the sons of God. Am I a peacemaker? Or when someone disagrees with me, do I have a little snide remark to make, huh? Think about it. How do you react? It's right there. People say, I can't go to the church. I can't go to your church, right? Because a bunch of hypocrites. You know what I say? This church is not full of hypocrites. There's always room for one more. There is, right? We got plenty of seating room. We could have 2 services. One more. Because you see, we know this here, we come here, right? This is a hospital for sinners, isn't it? Huh? We all are. We are. This is not a luxury resort for saints. Sorry, folks. There'll not be champagne after service. Not going to get any of that. We're to be transformed to the image of Christ. We're to lose the mask. Take the mask off. The hypocrisy. Just lose it. Just lose it, right? Drop that silly mask. Can we do this? Because Jesus is preaching this point right here, right in the beginning. And giving. He talks about giving here. Now, giving makes people uncomfortable. I get it. No one wants to know how much they give. And that's just talking about money. You see, so much more to give than just money. The funny thing is, I don't want to know people might give about this money, right? But you know, think, well, how much of your time do you give? What? What, time? Yeah, time. Well, my money's important. Yeah. Well, then, okay, can you give any time? Well, no. Do you realize we can be very selfish about our time like we can about money? There's not 1 second that you and I have ever created, is it? It's all God's. How are we using it? How are we using it? And think of the people in this society that they're living in, that Jesus is speaking to. This is a theocracy, okay? It's not our government system at all. It's a theocracy, right? So you've got the government, you have religion and politics, not married. They're the same thing, okay? That's the same thing. So the government was like the IRS. They knew what your income was. And the religious people knew what your income was. That's just how it was, folks. It was a different place in Judaism. It just was. So when it came to giving, they knew how much you made. And you had to give 10%. Money, livestock, grain. You just did it. And the society was sustained quite well by that, by the way. It was just different. It was just different than what we're used to, right? And when I thought about that giving, I got so many favorite little verses in the Bible and incidents. I got a zillion of them. I can't, but I just like it because one of my favorite ones is that poor widow woman who gave her last 2 mites, right? In Mark chapter 12, it says, so Jesus drags his disciples over to the treasury. He says, come on, guys, I want you to come see something, right? Because remember, when they gave, you gave openly, right? You make $100,000, whatever it was, you give $10,000. You make $1 million, you give $100,000, right? That's just what they did. That's what they did. And that was just a tithe. That wasn't any offerings or anything else they gave. This message is about hypocrisy, not giving, but Jesus uses this giving to show this. And Jesus drags the boys over there to show them something to the treasury. He says, assuredly I say to you, that this poor woman, widow woman, has put in more than all those who have given to the treasury. For they all put in out of their abundance, but she out of her poverty. She put in all that she had, her whole livelihood. Whew. Right? She gave her everything, right? It's amazing. Now the disciples saw everyone was giving, and they were giving a lot. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to be rich. It really is okay to be rich. I can't say to people, can't have money. You can have money. If you're a Christian, make $1 billion and use it the way you should. You ain't going to take it with you, sorry. Man, would you love to see a whole bunch of orphanages showed up? I've got a whole list of things. When I win mega whatever it is, I know I have to play it first, and I don't know how to. I only have to play once. Did you know that? One shot's all I need. But I already know how I'll spend it. I mean, it'll be gone in a week. It's no good, and I'll still live right on 15 Elcott Lane, and I'll be here. That's where I'll be. But she gave out of her poverty there, and no one is thinking, she gave a lot. They didn't even notice her, right? I was looking at, not the poor widow, but I was looking at rich Joanna. She was pumping in money. I'm saying, ooh, she's got the money, honey, right? And when the poor widow, she threw her 2 mites in, whatever. Yeah. Right? That's what we do. They didn't have much to give. You don't know how much someone's giving when they give. No idea. That whole thing of this is when you do not judge. Okay? There are times when we don't judge. At any rate, we're called to give as God's prospered, as God blesses us. Please don't forget those Beatitudes that Jesus taught earlier. They were blessings, weren't they? They don't necessarily sound like blessings when you go through and look at them, though, right? A blessing makes you happy. A blessing allows you to flourish, okay? Think of some of the Beatitudes. To be poor in the spirit, to be meek, to be merciful, to be a peacemaker. How's about to be persecuted? There's one that's going to be a blessing. Yeah, let me go be persecuted, right? Those are the blessings that Jesus talked about. Does he throw in money there? I didn't find any. If you find it in Matthew chapter 5, show it to me. That's it, right? But we live in a world that actually glorifies the rewards of the finance. We just love it. So it makes a lot of money. And it's okay to make a lot of money. It is. I hope you invest wisely. I hope we can do some training on finances this year so that you can have a big old pile of money to sit on. That's okay. I don't mind it. Where did the recognition of the poor widow woman come from, though? Did it come from the crowd? It came from Jesus. Do you see that? Do you see who recognized her? What did it say in the beginning? What do you want your reward from? From God, right? What happened? Twice you heard God say, this is my son in whom I am well pleased, didn't he? Jesus. Was Jesus give money in any instant? No, it wasn't part of it at all. And this is like Jesus saying to this is my daughter in whom I am well pleased. She gave of her all. Her all. She had nothing she was holding back. Nothing she was holding back. Are we working for a relationship with God that brings praise with God? Because it's okay to do that, folks. Who do you want your praise from? Me? I will praise you. I praise Michelle. I love her. I will praise you when you do things. And that's good. And we should uplift each other. But is it our mindset? God, is this what you would have me to do? And do it. You know what? If you do it and it fails, or it doesn't work out, that's okay. Do it. Being a sea anemone or a sponge in the bottom of the ocean that never moves, that's not a Christian life. We need to be a little bit more dynamic in our lives. We just do. Brother James mentioned it, Matthew 6. What did it say? Do not lay up for yourself treasures in heaven where moth and rust do corrupt it, right? That's what happens, right? For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Where is our treasure? Where is our treasure? Is it to be seen by people? Look at me. Jesus tells the disciples to beware, do not give, don't do your righteous acts, right, to receive the accolades of people. Don't do it to be seen. Here's the reality. If you do a great act, when you do X, whatever X is, and you get praise for it, you know what comes? People will say, what are you going to do next? You did X, what comes next? That is what happens. That is the nature of people. It is. It just is. I'll give you a case in point. What happened after Jesus fed the 5,000? John chapter 6. John chapter 6 is a great, long and great chapter. And he fed the 5,000s. A little bit of time passes in the same chapter. What do the people say? What sign will you perform then, that we may see it and believe you? What work will you do? He just fed 5,000 people out of some couple of fishies and some bread. Really? Really? Do you see what Jesus is saying here? Don't look for the praise of men and women and people in general. Do you see why Jesus says, beware where you get your praise from? Looking for a reward from people is something to beware of. I hope someone recognizes what I did. And I hope they do too. No, I do. People do things around here, and I really try and catch up things people do, and I get excited, right? I really do. But you won't always get that. Then Jesus tells us how to do the charitable deeds, right? Charitable deeds, okay? It's nice to know what we're not to do, but then how to do it. And he tells us quite clearly. But when you do a charitable deed, do not let your left hand know what the right hand's doing. That your charitable deed may be in secret. It's time to keep a secret, folks. That your Father who sees the secret, he will himself reward you openly. Where do you want your reward from? Right? Where did the widow woman get her reward from? From Jesus. This isn't like this right and left hand. This is not like a sleight of hand thing, like on the streets, moving things around. That's not what we're talking about here. Not at all. Now, Billy Graham was a famous evangelist. Some folks don't know about it. If you don't know who Billy Graham is, that's cool. Just Google Billy Graham and look him up. This man filled up football stadiums all over the world. All over the world. It's an amazing thing. And he had something to say about the left and the right hand that I like so much. Billy Graham was a door-to-door salesman before he became an evangelist. You think of that? Door-to-door salesman. He can't do that. He did that. Anyway, what did Billy Graham say? God has given us two hands. One is for receiving, one is for giving. Okay? We are not cisterns for hoarding. We are channels for sharing. Is that in our life? That's so powerful, isn't it? Is our life sharing like this? There is a process or a revelation that must be understood in the soul of every believer. And it's this. And it's this. The recognition that recognition is not so important. To recognize that being recognized is not so important. There's no one in those spotlights, are there? No. You don't need recognition. If I recognize something you do, I'm just picking on me, that's great. But what if I don't recognize it? What if I don't see it? Why did you do it? For the honor and glory of God. If you start there, you just watch what will start happening in your lives. It's so important. What's the recognition need to be all about, right? Because the harder you and I try to be what we should be, the less we'll try to hide what we are. We do hide what we are sometimes. Who and what I am will fade away as you and I are sanctified and we're transformed to the image of Christ. Do you realize that? It'll fade away. Coming into the image of Christ. What a reward. You want a reward? Be in the image of Christ. Everyone, you want a hero? Who do you want, a hero, right? Do you want an NFL player? Do you want an NBA player? Huh? Do you want a politician? Or do you want to be like Christ? Make him your hero too, your Savior and your hero. I don't know. But we will fall. We need to conform into that image. It's so important. And how is it done? In secret. Well, that's not American, right? We've got to have a YouTube about it, right? So let me share. I've shared this before with you, but I want to tell the story again because it's so interesting. And the fact that Yolanda's going down to the Dominican Republic, which is oddly enough. So she's going to see the Quinlan. She's not going to see the Lanes. But I shared this story before, but I thought it was really interesting. So Wes and Melanie Lane, they've been down in the Dominican Republic. They've been on the Isle of Hispaniola for like 35 or 36 years. They've been in Haiti. They've been this. They've built physical buildings and spiritual buildings in Haiti and in the DR. So anyways, here's the story. You've heard this story before. I'll tell you again. Wes comes to the U.S., and he's speaking at churches, right? And he's at a Wednesday night service, because what's he doing? Wes is doing what he does. He's raising money, moolah, to build another building down on the Isle of Hispaniola. With him, it's hard to say what country he's in. It doesn't make any difference with him. The man's a wild man. If we can go there, you will be so tired and happy by the time you leave. At any rate, he goes and he speaks. And they do what they do. And they took up an extra offering at the end of the service, right? For the missionary. Cool. And they count it up and stuff, and they do it. And there's a white envelope there with no name on it, with $7,000 cash in it, right? This is like in the late 90s, I think. So do your inflation thing, whatever you want. Do this, right? And Wes gets excited. Now, usually you don't do this. Yeah, like someone gives a lot of money, you don't run out and say, thank you for giving that amount of money. I've never done that, and I never will. But Wes got a little excited. I mean, he's on the road. He's out there doing this. And he says, who gave this money? And they said, we don't know. We don't know. And they're looking at each other. The regulars, right? I didn't give it. You didn't give it. I don't give it, right? Then he says, there was a guy in the back. Never seen him before. Showed up. Guy showed up. All they could figure is this guy showed up this one Wednesday night service. Heard Wes have a need for this. Had $7,000 with him. He put it in the offering. It was done in complete secret. Isn't that wild? In secret. God knew it had to happen, I guess. And he got in the man's heart on that night when Wes was there. It wasn't the Wednesday before. It wasn't the Wednesday after. This was the night that Wes needed money to build a building. And if this guy, Wes, if he says he's going to build a building, trust me, he's going to build a building. The buildings that he built years ago in Haiti after the big earthquake are still standing because he built them correctly. He loves to remind me of that. He says, because we put it right, we put the right rebar in there. Man knows how to do things. But isn't that wonderful? Isn't it a wonderful story? Wes has no idea who that man was. He has no idea if that man ever knows the building was built. But it was all done in secret. Jesus said, beware at the beginning of this text. That was a warning for us as readers, folks. It really is. Now, when it comes to giving, this message is not about giving. Giving is used in this. This message is not about giving. This is about hypocrisy. But I want to caution us a little bit because sometimes I say things up here. Boy, it's dangerous being up here. You folks come back and tell me stuff afterwards. I said, what? Jeremy's not here today. He's sick. He tells me some things I've said before. I say, shut up. I didn't really say that, right? I've stepped on some major toes without trying. That's why I write it down, folks. The problem is when my eyes are up looking at you, I'm not reading. I'm thinking. It's a dangerous place for my brain to be. But at any rate, this is not about guilting people into giving. This has nothing to do with that. And why am I saying this? Well, finance is important. Money's important. And I was listening to this guy. Many of you know the name Dave Ramsey. He's a Christian. And he has a whole ministry on finances. Really good ministry. He's got books. He's got videos, classes you can do as a church, everything. And he helps people to be good stewards of their money. And this is a good thing. Well, here's the thing about it, okay? He had this to say about giving, and it was interesting. This is what Ramsey says. He goes, there's a problem sometimes in churches that people want to give. They give a tithe, and then they want to give an offering. And then someone like Wes Lane comes along, right? I'm going to build a building. Oh, honey, we got to give him money. Let's write a check for $10, $100, I don't know. It doesn't make any difference. What the problem with that is they feel guilty. Why am I saying that? Because they have a mortgage or a rent they're not paying. Ramsey called this right out. It's inappropriate. See, this message isn't about guilting people into things. This is about hypocrisy. In fact, even giving that way, I'm thinking again, it's dangerous. I'm not looking at my notes. It's kind of hypocritical to do that, isn't it? I'm going to give unto God while not taking care of what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, that's why we need to be good stewards, and we need to learn to be good stewards so that we can do what God has called us to do. That's very important. But I want to mention that to you because it's an important thing to be doing these things. When you do not know, when you don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, you're conducting your affairs between yourself and God. That's what he's trying to say here. That's what he is saying, not trying to. It's unknown to anyone else. No one else needs to know. No one else needs to know. See, secret giving kills the root of pride. Whew. That pride thing. Does anyone else have a prideful heart sometimes, or am I the only one, right? Man, I'm a piece of work sometimes. That pride gets going. I did this. Did you know that just yesterday I put up a new TV down in the nursery? I did. I couldn't figure out how to make it work. I had to call up Light. I can't even do my pride right sometimes. But at any rate, we need to kill that root of pride. We do. Quote, we're going to be almost done. A.W. Tozer, before the judgment seat of Christ, my service will not be judged by how much I have done, but how much of me was in there, right? Isn't that important? And was I in it? Was I cognitive? Was I into it? Was I all in? Because it turns out God wants all of you. All of you. Not a little of you. Not 1 foot in and 1 foot out, right? All of us. I close with this one thing I thought it was interesting. There was a gentleman by the name of, he's a novelist and a doctor, Dr. A.J. Cronin, right? This is like he was in the early 20th century there. And he's over in Wales, in the London area, that part of the world, okay? And he was a doctor in a small Welsh mining town. Actually, what he would do, he would travel from town to town, right? Because you didn't have a doctor in a town. People traveled, okay? And that's what you did and stuff. And the mining towns, probably a lot of health issues. But at any rate, he did this. And while he's there was a nurse that worked in that mining town full-time for 20 years. And she was exemplary in her job. And he thought she was wonderful. She did a great job. Then he learned, because he is not responsible for her salary. See, the town was. He went from town to town. But he learned what her salary was all about. And he says to her, nurse, why don't you make them pay you more? Right? It's ridiculous that you work for so little. She replied, she was getting enough to meet her needs. But you deserve more, the doctor replied. Then he says this, God knows you're worth it. The nurse was silent for a moment. Then with a smile on her face, she proclaimed, Dr. Cronin, if God knows I'm worth it, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Isn't that beautiful? She didn't need anything more. She'd given it all. That nurse was like the widow of two mites. She got the praise from God. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So folks, let us expect nothing from this world. Don't let the world disappoint you. It will. Be glad there's flowers out there this morning. Get excited about that. Jesus said to beware of ourselves, that we want to have our righteous deeds done. This is first of 3 hypocritical things that Jesus is going to deal with in Matthew chapter 6. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for this day, Lord. I thank you for my brothers and sisters here and for your goodness to us. I pray for my brothers and sisters that aren't here because so many are sick, Lord. And I don't know who I can visit or not visit today and tomorrow, but I thank you and praise you, Lord, that we're here today for the goodness you give us. In your Son's name we pray. Amen. Amen. Ooh.